Hello, this is the RM514SPC, which is a 20-inch rotary mower that's self-propelled, rear roller, and it's got 4 drive speeds, so really good mower. Quite a big mower here, as you can see, it's in this box. So what I'm going to do now is cut the top, take it out and show you how to assemble it so you can get it on the lawn and start mowing. Here it is then, quite a big mower. This makes a really good job of mowing the lawn and puts that stripe on it. So this is how it is when we take it out of the box. We've taken all the packaging off there and the protective films. This needs a little bit of assembly. It's essentially there, but we need to assemble the handlebar system, but we'll look at that in a second. It also comes, of course, with the manuals. There's a Cobra manual on the mower, there's an engine manual, we've got cable clips, you've got a spark plug there if you ever need it, spark plug socket that is, if you should need it in the future, and of course the grass collection box here. Now this does need a little bit of assembly. It's quite easy to do. We've got the metal frame there and then we've got the bag here, so it's just a case of sliding the frame in like that, and of course all the instructions are in the manual, and then we just clip this over the frame like this. So I'm just going to open that up with my finger, slide that over there and work my way along. So that's clipped over there like that, and then the bottom piece clips onto there. Now a little tip is, if it's quite cold when you're doing this, just loosen them off, just warm them up a little bit just for a minute or two, and then you'll find they fit on much easier. So that's just going to clip over there, and then the sides. So you just follow the frame round, basically going round, clipping it all on. Takes a bit of fiddling around, but it goes on, fits in nice and snugly like that. And the other thing that we need to do is to take off these 2 plastic caps. These have been put on there to protect the mower when it's in transit, so that these pointy bits here don't cause any damage. So that's all clipped on. Just check it round like that, make sure that's on. So that's the box finished for now. So I'm going to pop that out of the way, and then we can start looking at the handlebar assembly on this one. So again, we've got 2 protectors on the ends here, so they need to just slide off at this stage. So one this side and one this side. So what we need to do is just twist it round so that the cables aren't twisted. So I'm just going to twist that round, making sure you don't hook it onto anything like that. And now we can see that the cables this side are on this side, and likewise these are up here. So that's that. I'm just going to lie that down like that, and we've got 2 more protectors just here on these red brackets. This is where we're going to attach the base of the handlebars to it. So what we've got is we've got a series of nuts and bolts here. So we've got nuts and bolts with the washers on. So we've got the nut, the bolt, flat washer and a spring washer. Then we just need to offer up the handlebar. So little tip is, make sure that the cables are on the outside of these red clips. It just makes it easier to get on. And then it's just to open out the frame like that. And we want the frame to sit on the outside of this red frame just here. Now you can just about manage this on your own, but if it is a bit awkward, so in fairness, if you have got somebody with you, that does make life that little bit easier. Then we want 2 of the bolts, and we're going to push the bolts through from this back edge, line it up like that, and then what I'm going to do is to pop on there just to hold it in place so it doesn't spring off. I'm going to put the flat washer on, followed by the little split washer, and then one of the nuts. Just finger tight for now, but that will just hold that in place and it won't spring off. And then I can repeat that on the bottom hole. So feed that through, lock it into position, and then it's a case again of the flat washer, spring washer, and that nut. Okay, and we can tighten those up with a spanner in a minute, and then I'm going to repeat that on this side here. So it's just a case of, you need to just put a bit of tension on it. The bolt goes through there, and then, as you can see, that's just a case of fastening it on. What we need is a 13mm spanner, and it is just then a case of tightening everything up so that it's not going to vibrate off. And that's the idea of the little split washer, of course. It prevents that nut from vibrating off. So nice and tight like that, and then exactly the same on this side, like that. So that's nice and firm there. So what we need to do now is fold up this top part of the handle, and again we're making sure we don't trap any cables as we do this, like that, and then it's just a case of getting it into position and locking those nice and tight like that. So that holds it. And the good thing about these handles is that if you want to put this away for storage and room's a little short, then you can just release these and fold the top part of the handle down. And then finally, while we're on the handlebars, we've got these two cable clips. So it's just simply a case of feeding the cables into it, into the grooves, and then just clipping that on like that, and it just holds everything nice, neat and tidy and together. So that is the handle assembly of the mower. So what we need to do next is to get it fueled up. When the mower arrives, it's got no petrol in it, it's got no oil in it, so we've got to do that. So first thing is I'm going to put some petrol in there, and with the introduction of the new E10 petrol, it's really important that you use fresh petrol and don't leave it in the tank too long. And you can get a fuel stabilizer as well, just to make sure your mower runs nice and smoothly. And it's just a case of putting this fresh in. Now we don't have to fill it up completely. I'm going to put enough in to start the engine. So there we go, that's plenty to get us started. And then we need to put some oil in it. Now in the box there will be 0.6 of a litre of engine oil, 4-stroke engine oil, and the filler is round this side here. So I'm going to take out the dipstick, and we need to put in all of this. This is 0.6 of a litre. It's quite a big engine this is, so it takes it all, but of course all the instructions are in the manual that comes with it, so please do read it. But we're going to put this into here. I'm just going to pour this in gently. So once you've got the oil in, it's always a good idea just to check that is right. So I've put the dipstick in and winding it back out, and I can see there that the oil now is to the level that we want, to the top of that little hatching just there. So I know that that is perfect. So we know it's 0.6 of a litre, but use the dipstick as well as a second way of making sure it's right. And that is it now. We've got fuel in, we've got oil in, the handlebar assembly is all done. So we'll lift this down, take it onto the lawn, and I'll show you how to start it so you can start mowing your lawn. First thing is I'm going to put on the grass box. It's a good big grass box on this, and all we do is simply lift the back flap and we just sit that onto the springs there. That holds it in place, and then the flap holds it nice and firmly. Raising the height of cut is this lever just here, and there are 6 positions, and when you buy it, it's always going to be in the low position. We don't want to start the mower like that. It will put strain on the engine and damage the grass. So to start it, we lift it into the maximum position, and then when we want to mow, when the engine's running, we can lower it down to the desired cutting height. So we'll start with it in the up position to start the mower. The pull cord is here. Now what we can do is to pull that and put it on the little bracket on the handle, and to do that we need to pull in the red lever here, and then we can just gently pull that out and it will hook around this little bracket there. So it means that when we start the mower in the future, we don't have to bend down, we can just do it from a standing position. So the control's very simple. We've got the red lever we pull in, we need that to start the mower. It won't start until you've got it pulled back, and that is also how we stop the engine and the blades, by releasing it. And when we are running the engine and we want to go forward, because this is a driven mower, it's power driven. We then push the black lever at the back in and it will go forward. It's got 4 speeds, this mower, so you can set it to the walking pace you want. If it's a big air, you can go fast, put it on 4. If you want to go slow, put it on 1, and you can change that while you're mowing as well. And then finally, this is the choke and the throttle there. So choke position to start it from cold. As soon as it fires up, we can knock it off and get the revs going so we can mow away. Just to be aware, there is a fuel tap, an inline fuel tap here. So that is in line with the pipe, which tells us it's on. If you want to isolate the fuel for safety, then you can just turn it off like that. But remember, when you want to start the mower again, you need to put it in the on position. So we can now start it. We'll put the choke on, pull the red lever back, and away it goes. Now, bearing in mind, this is the first time it's been started, so you might need to give it a couple of pulls, but let's give it a go. And there you have it, a super mower. This is the Cobra RM514SPC. Rotary mower with a rear roller, collector, 4-speed, all singing or dancing, will make a marvellous job of your lawn.
Remember to register your Cobra online at www.cobragarden.co.uk. Always have your Cobra serviced regularly. Check the website for your nearest dealer.